One of the joys of owning an RV is being able to use it all year long. Winter can be a bit of a challenge though in keeping it warm, the floor especially. If that's your problem, I've got a solution for you. Come on inside and I'll show you what it is. Hi, welcome to Honey and Me. I'm Susan. As a Canadian, I am well acquainted with winter. Living here in BC, we get lots of snow or lots of rain, depending on where you live. Sometimes both. We can choose to make like a bear and hibernate till spring, or with our RVs, we can travel and explore all year long, even in the winter. If you have a way to heat your RV, whether it's with the furnace that came with your RV, or you've added a wood stove or a gasoline heater, or maybe you stay at RV parks and you can just plug in an electric heater. Whatever the case may be, one thing remains true: hot air rises. And the colder it is outside, the chillier the floor in your RV is going to be. These are interlocking foam tiles. They're really cheap, they are really easy to install, and they really help to keep the floor in your RV warm. I use these on the floor of the kitchen at our cabin in the Yukon. It gets really cold up there, like -40. And the floor in my kitchen can get really, really cold. I used to get numb feet washing the dishes or making dinner, even with the wood stove pumping out the heat. Not only do they insulate your floor, but they're squishy, so they're comfortable to stand on. They're also really easy to keep clean. You can sweep them or vacuum them, and you can wash them just like your normal floor. These ones I bought at Walmart. There is 4 in a pack, and they were about $15 for the 4. If you look on Amazon, and I'm going to leave a link down below for it, you can find tons and tons of colors and different patterns. They have a lot. So take a look there and you will probably find what you're looking for, and the price is definitely comparable to Walmart's. I've shown you the tiles, now I'm going to show you how to install them. The only tools you're going to need to install these tiles is a razor knife and a ruler. The first step is to clean the floor. The tiles come with 2 sides that are the interlocking sides, and 2 sides that are still interlocking but have a filler piece so that you can have a straight edge or the interlocking edge. They go together like a puzzle. This is the first piece that I fitted in at the front of the RV, and what I did was I cut that side off right here. It's this piece right here. The edge is cut. It cuts really, really easily with the razor knife and the straight edge ruler. So here is the second piece that I'm going to cut, and I'm going to use the piece that I cut off of the first piece to make sure I'm cutting off the right amount. Put that on there so it's lined up, and then put my ruler up against it. Make sure it looks like it's all lined up with the pattern in here, which it looks like it's off a little bit there. Double check it. Remember the old saying, measure twice, cut once. So I measured twice, take it off. That looks good. Pop out my knife and just slice through the foam. I'm trying not to cut all the way through because I don't want to cut my floor. There, and then you can bend it like so and go to the back side of it and use the fold as a guide to cut the rest of the way through. So there is the edge all cut, and I'm going to go and fit this one into the first one. So here is the second piece in place. You can see along the edge here where the interlocking pieces are kind of jabbed into the side of the dinette booth. So I'm going to cut those off, and it's going to leave a little bit of space between the trim on the floor and the actual tile. The website suggests that you leave about 1/4 inch around the edge of the floor to allow for expansion. So that little bit right there is probably going to be perfect. This is still the second piece, and I need to trim these little interlocking pieces off, but only up to this point, because after these three here are going to be going around the corner behind the dinette. So I've cut here just as a marker to know that's as far as I need to cut these ones off. So I'm just going to lay the ruler along the edge of the tile so I can cut off the little interlocking pieces, and then all the way along. Making sure I leave my last three on there. And then each one of these is now cut most of the way through. So here's piece number 1, and I'm going to put piece number 2 in there. There are the first 2 pieces in, and I'm going to carry on down here. I'll have to cut around places like this and fit it in. But yeah, I'll get that done and show you what it looks like. It's all done, and I'll take you on a little tour. This is the bathroom, and I decided not to go all the way back around behind the toilet because it would be a lot of chopping up of a perfectly good tile, and I have one whole tile left. I used 3 packages. This is from the other direction.